Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or good night, whatever that might be, and welcome to, most definitely, a 5-minute guide for Nanoha. In this video, I'm gonna go through her skills, which ones to level up first, her build paths, discs, and what teams to use Nanoha on. So let's get on to it. Nanoha is a 5-star Ventus Vanguard focused on activating Ventus marks with a ranged skill for easy AoE damage while keeping herself safe. Like most Vanguard trackers in Stella Sora, Nanoha has 2 builds, but both use her auto attacks and skill, so leveling up those at the same time will be ideal, while only leveling up her ultimate after you're done leveling the first 2, and ignoring a support skill as it is very unlikely that you'll be using Nanoha as a support. So for Nanoha and many other Vanguards, her first build focuses on her auto attacks, which after testing her, all the way from the closed beta test to the current live version, feels the weakest, because her projectiles are very thin, so you won't be able to deal well with hordes of mobs and also not taking advantage of her ease of Ventus Mark application. But still, if you want to use her auto attack build, these are the potentials you want to use in order of priority: Blossom Fury, Gale Rage, Phantom Follower, Sun Chaser, Sky Piercer, Infinite Shade, Wind Whispers, and Starlit Dash. This is to min-max all the auto attack buffs, plus getting clones to increase the Phantom Follower potential attack buff. For premium discs, you'll want to use Nanoha's signature, Grant, aka Battle Pass Ventus discs, and also I would normally recommend the Cataclysm disc, but the Ventus version of it is kinda not good, so I'll actually recommend going for Emerald Dream 4-star disc. For 4-star options, auto attack Nanoha doesn't have much love except Emerald Dream that I just mentioned, and maybe Unknown Fragrance. I cannot recommend Shrink or Retreat as it only buffs skill damage, so you're better off going for the 3-star version of Brave the Wind disc. If you don't have any of the fillers, you can go for these 3-star discs again: Brave the Wind, Grand Feast, and then Elysium for their auto attack damage buffs. Although use these as fillers in case you cancel out any of the previous discs mentioned. Now time for our second build, which is the most common and easily the strongest: the skill build that focuses on proccing Ventus marks. For potentials, you want these in order: Bloom Dancer, Whirling Blade, Sky Piercer, Splendid Vortex, Blooming Flowers, Distant Prayer, Starlit Dash, and then for an extra boost in case you have already gotten the previous potentials, Blossom Shower. On this build, premium discs will remain the same for the previous reasons, but for 4-star options, now you can include the remaining 4-star Ventus disc, as they now will buff your skill damage. Although keep an eye out for future Ventus discs to replace Unknown Fragrance, as it's the weakest of the 4-star discs out of the 3. For 3-star discs, in case you can't fill the slots with the previous discs, is again Brave the Wind, Indigo Sunset, and Grand Feast. For Nanoha teams, and I say teams in quotes because there's only one team that you should be using for either playstyle, that is Nanoha, Canace, and N. Normally, I would entertain a Nazuna skill damage build, but not this time. As Nanoha, you want to proc these Ventus marks, and the best team to do it is this one. For Canace Potentials, you want these ones on the following order: Grant's Efficient Delving, Grant's Speed Up Notion, Grant's Transformative Insight, Cyclone Acceleration, Structure Analysis, Storm Eye Expansion, and Conclusion Analysis, last without needing to upgrade it because the Ventus damage taken buff does not scale. For N Potentials, following the order: Wind Erosion Havoc, Speed Surge, Windgate Barrier, Violent Current, Downwind Journey, Warm Wind Guard, Forest Princess's Blessing, and Wind Banish. Also side note, and support skill attack buff, Bug, doesn't apply to this team, because the bug only affects non-Ventus characters, so you don't have to worry about that. Recon from the future here. Since the recording of this video, Yostar has fixed the end bug, so you can ignore completely what I said. That's it, bye. Anyways, these potentials can be shared on both builds because they'll be equally efficient on them. Overall, with Nanoha, your objective will be to hang around N walls to get her buffs, while making sure your projectiles go through her wall for bonus damage, and also rotating around the enemies to make Canace skill hits as many times as possible to apply the Ventus marks. Another thing to mention is that while Nanoha is ranged, in a lot of content you will actually have to hug the enemies by being next to them due to the auto-targeting in Stella Sora prioritizing close enemies. So while you're trying to hit a boss, if there's a mob close to you, Nanoha will start targeting them and make you lose DPS on the boss. To wrap this up, the current appeal of Nanoha is just how easy she is to build, the fact she has good damage while also being ranged, and the fact that you get her whole team for free. You get Anne for logging in, and Canace from doing the Tyrant Growth quests. So as long as you have Nanoha, you have her team. She also has good potential to get stronger over time. At the moment, Canace is not exactly the best, but she's serviceable. But in case there's another sub-DPS Ventus, it is more likely than not to be replacing Canace here, therefore buffing Nanoha. Also, I will be making infographics for these guys and posting them on my Discord, so if you want a quick and easy way to get a quick glance at what you want on your team, you can do that as well by joining the Discord. Although, quick warning, these might not be out right away after the release of each guide, as I am busy doing other videos in the meantime and I'm only one person. Anyways, that is it for the definitely 5-minute guide for Nanoha. If you want more of these guys, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, because by subscribing you're telling YouTube to recommend my videos, and also because we're this close to reaching 1,000 subs. Also, I go live on Twitch almost every day at twitch.tv/reconnect, where I help new Stella Sora players on their journey as trackers. Anyways, I hope you have a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or good night, whatever that might be, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye!